Greetings! In this video, we will demonstrate how you can access the Press Democrat for free from the SRJC Library's web pages. We'll also show you how to find letters to the editor or op-eds in the library's Press Democrat database. Finally, we'll show you how to identify the title, participants, and other information found in letters to the editor. Let's start at the SRJC homepage. To find the Press Democrat as a database from the SRJC libraries, which you can access for free, scroll down from the SRJC homepage found at libraries.santarosa.edu. We'll scroll down just a little bit to where you can see research databases listed on the left-hand side of the screen. On this A to Z Databases list page, click on the letter P to scroll down the page to where the Press Democrat e-edition is located. Next, click on the link to go to the Press Democrat. The Press Democrat website takes a few moments to load, but once it does, you'll see an image of the actual printed paper over on the left side of your screen. On the right side of your screen, you'll see the various sections of the paper listed. The easiest and quickest way to find letters to the editor is to click on the first section, Main. If you prefer, you can use the arrows on the image side to click from one page to the next, but this can be very slow. Looking again at the right side of the screen, if you scroll down through the main section after clicking on it, you'll see at the end of this section, almost the very end, there is a section called Let the Public Speak. This is where letters to the editor are located. Once you click on this link, you'll see on the left-hand side, again, the actual letters to the editor and editorials written by the Press Democrat editors. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the same content that's shown in the image on the left. It's a little bit easier to read the letters that are written on the right-hand side of the screen, as the print is a lot bigger. On your computer, you can make the letters on the left larger if you prefer. Press Democrat default, when you enter this database, is to show you the current day's newspaper. You can scroll through these articles on the right-hand side, and you'll see each letter to the editor has its own title, the first one being Feature Life, Not Death. All letters to the editor begin with the word editor. That's who's being addressed specifically. However, that doesn't mean that is who the audience for the letter is. You have to read the letter to figure that part out. If you scroll down to the bottom of this first letter, you'll see there's a name here, Jean Grant, and a location, Santa Rosa. All people writing letters to the editor are required to provide their name and their address, although only the city in which they live is printed. Typically, newspapers do not allow people to write anonymous letters to the editor. If you read through the letters to the editor and you're not interested in any of the letters you see here, you can choose other editions of the paper from other days by going over to the right and clicking where it says Search Archive. When it comes to identifying the important parts of a letter to the editor, remember the first thing you'll see in bold above the actual letter given for the letter. This is usually determined by the paper when they receive the letter to the editor. Next, you'll see this person has decided to write about the COVID pandemic and in relation to the political situation. We know this because they talk about red states. And then they go on to list some different states, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Arkansas. And the claim of this person who wrote the letter is that all these states have Republican government. You could infer from reading this article that this person feels that they are addressing people that are voting in the current election to recall the governor because they seem to feel that there is a relationship between the COVID pandemic and whether a governor of a state in the United States is a member of the Democratic or the Republican Party. Again, below the letter, we have the author of the letter, the person who wrote the letter, and the city in which they live. This concludes our explanation of how to get into the Press Democrat for free access when using it as a database from the SRJC libraries.